Now from Seaside Park, New Jersey, Governor Christie. Governor, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. How are you?
Fine, sir. It's good to talk with you this morning. Are you satisfied with New Jersey's recovery from Sandy?
Well, Charlie, listen, I think we've made tremendous progress in the last year. Tens of thousands of people back in their homes, all the boardwalks rebuilt, so many businesses that have come back online. But I also know that we still have a lot more work to do. We still have a lot of people who are frustrated or not back in their homes. And my mission is to get all those people back in their homes. From the beginning, Charlie, I said this was an 18 to 24-month process. And while we've made great progress in the first year, there are frustrations and challenges that remain. And my job is to address those and overcome them.
Why are there 26,000 people still homeless?
Well, there's a number of reasons. First, Charlie, let's start off with the fact that it took 92 days for the Congress to act on aid for Sandy victims. That's unprecedented. It was 10 days for Katrina and 17 days for Gustav. And you remember me being pretty exercised about it at the time because I knew what that would do to add time at the end. So the first federal dollars from the Sandy aid package didn't flow to New Jersey until the end of May.
Governor, it is true there were delays, and yet $60 billion in federal aid. And yet so many people who lost their homes say they've barely seen a trickle of that. How can you explain that?
Well, Nora, first off, I don't know whether you would call $8 billion a trickle, but $8 billion has already been distributed in New Jersey, despite all the challenges I just talked about. Between aid from FEMA and aid from the Sandy package, $8 billion has been distributed. From $51 billion that's available, $9 billion went to the National Flood Insurance Program. But of the $51 billion available, $8 billion's already been distributed in New Jersey, and we're going to continue to work to make that even better. But you know, you got to work with your partners in the federal government, and as all of you can tell from looking at Washington, D.C., that's sometimes not the easiest thing in the world.
Let me ask you about Washington, D.C. and the current problems with Obamacare. Jan Crawford just reported that 800,000 people in New Jersey are getting notices that they can no longer keep their existing plans. Do you wish that you had set up a state-run insurance exchange so that people could use that?
No, Nora, and it wouldn't have made any difference, in fact, because you could see all the problems with this. And what the federal government wanted us to do in the states was to take on this burden ourselves without telling us how much it would cost or what authority we would have to actually run our exchanges. That's why myself and 33 other governors, both Republican and Democrat, said no to a state-run exchange. The real problem is that people weren't told the truth. You can remember they were told that they would be able to keep their policies if they liked them. And now you hear hundreds of thousands of people across the country being told they couldn't. So the White House needs to square that with what was told to the American people and told to the Congress beforehand. And it doesn't seem to square at the moment, but we'll wait and see.
Let me turn to the NSA. And as you know, you have said that people who want to crack down on the NSA would regret it when the next attack came. Do you want to suggest to America that NSA should be doing everything it was doing and it's necessary for America's national security, even if it involves tapping the cell phones of foreign leaders?
I'll tell you, Charlie, what the folks in Washington should be doing is doing their job. And that means the folks at the White House and the folks in Congress. I
remember, as you well do, when Hurricane Sandy hit and the president came to New Jersey, you welcomed him with open arms and you believed in the cooperation with the federal government. But this morning, you seem to be attacking the federal government at every level.
Charlie, all I ask of people is do the same thing I do, which is to be held responsible for doing their jobs every day. And I'm proud that here in New Jersey, the state government has been working extraordinarily well with local groups and organizations and everyday citizens to try to help us recover from what is the worst natural disaster that's ever hit this state in its history. But you know me, Charlie. Ask me a question, I'm going to give you an answer. And so, you know, it's about the questions you're asking this morning, Charlie, not about my answers.
All right, Governor. Well, how about this? You look great. How's your health and how's your weight loss going?
My health is really good. We released a medical report on Friday that laid all that out for the people of New Jersey in the run-up to the election. But they've also seen me do the job for the last 4 years. I don't think they're concerned that I can't. And as my doctor noted in the report, my weight loss has been good and steady. I feel good, and you know, we're just going to continue on the program.
Governor, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And we're thinking about everybody in New Jersey and New York that's been affected still by Superstorm Sandy. Thank you.
Nora, thank you. Charlie, thank you for having us on this morning.